Hello and welcome. It is my very great pleasure to introduce a dear friend and collaborator for my next book of prayerful poems, Dear God Through the Wilderness, Diane Williamson. We first met Diane years ago when she came and mesmerised about 15 10-year-olds at one of our daughter's birthday parties. It was very quickly clear that Diane was no ordinary face painter. Every face was truly a work of art by the time she'd finished. A little later, I fell in love with this painting. And I loved it because it reminded me of my mum, who had passed away, but had been a dancer before then. And she was just fearless in so many ways. Face painting was only one of the many art-related jobs that Diane has held simultaneously throughout her career. Diane was literally born to be an artist. From the age of 2 years old, all she wanted to do was to be an artist. She went to art school for 4 years, but she says she mainly learned social skills there. Her many artistic jobs since include wedding photography, graphic design, LED lighting, airbrush retouching artistry for glamour and wedding photographs, photo restoration and picture framing with her dad's business, which Diane then took over. Yes. Diane has taught art at 3 neighbourhood houses and is presently helping to run the 30 artist group Peninsula Studio Trail. Wow. And she did all this whilst raising a family and maintaining her own fabulous art practice. Diane, thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you for asking me.
Oh, my pleasure. It's clear that art is your life. So can you share with us what art means to you personally? And with all your multiple skills, what draws you specifically to painting?
I think that what I want to do is to bring more beauty into the world and the things that I love and the world needs more love. And when I see something I love and I paint it, then it makes me feel as if it's more a part of me or I'm a part of it.
Right.
It's like when you have a flower that smells beautiful. You smell it and everyone goes, oh, you almost want to eat it. Like you want it more because it smells so good. And that's how a lot of things affect me. So although I might see a physical thing, and sometimes I'll draw or paint something realistically, I also think about reimagining that and transforming it.
Right.
And Mary Baker Eddy wrote a wonderful book. In that book says that we turn things into thoughts.
Right. Yeah.
And resolve the ideas of sense for the ideas of soul, something like that. And so to me that is about seeing the physical beautiful things in life and then seeing that as a spiritual quality.
Right.
So if you're going to try to paint something like that or draw something, to me it needs to be done in an abstract way, because now you're painting an idea or a concept.
Right.
Or a thought.
Okay.
Yes.
So this brings me to the transformation of your work from this to, excuse me, we'll just do a little shuffle here, to this magnificent creation, which is what you would describe as an abstract piece. Well, it certainly is.
Very abstract.
Would you like to explain this to us?
This part in the middle is symbolising love, because we all want love. Everyone wants that. And we have many choices in life, and I see the choices as doorways. And we don't purposely do anything that we think is not going to take us toward love or towards happiness. So there are many doors, many choices. So we can see there's a door here. Then there's another door here.
Yeah.
There's doors here, doors within doors. So these are our life choices. This shape here and this shape here are symbolising the sun and the moon as in time. And a lot of these lines and shapes around the outside are about the external influences and the thoughts we might have, and how we make our decisions and what influences us or affects us. Sometimes we look at our life through rose-coloured glasses and we make our choices in that way. Other times we feel like maybe there is a barrier to our happiness or reaching our happiness. So the door is always open and the light is always there. So this is the general feeling and concept of this painting.
Absolutely beautiful. It's just beautiful. You said that we don't always make choices that might lead us away from love. Is that choice represented in there, or do you think all our choices eventually lead us to love?
Well, we often make wrong choices.
No, we
Sometimes we make really bad
For
choices.
sure.
And that's possibly looking through rose-coloured glasses
Right.
or just not seeing clearly.
Yes.
But I've purposely made that some of these shapes as if they're glowing, because to me that's about divine light, really. Inspiration. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. So tell me, Diane, people would have been used to your more natural style of painting. Did you get a lot of questions, or did you find people struggle to understand when you moved towards the more abstract style?
People liked it, but they often said, I don't understand it. My sister especially, who calls a spade a spade, will say, yeah, it's okay, but what is it?
Right.
And that is perfectly natural for people to want to reason and understand things, because they can see you've put a lot of time and effort into something, so they want to understand why. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm really interested in, well, really three things I'm really interested in, are quantum physics, science, the study of metaphysics. And these things I love because they have been proving to us that because something's invisible doesn't mean it's not substantial.
True.
And we all know that a feeling isn't something you can see, you express it. So I think when you explain non-representational art in that way, people can get it more.
Yeah.
And we can accept that metaphysics and quantum physics, depending whether you're looking at things spiritually or physically, have opened a big door to knowledge and seeing the world in a different way, and seeing the unseen and the seen universe in a more unlimited way.
I think it's also really wonderful for people to consider the unknown, to be all right with not knowing for a little while, to be okay with sitting with the question, because we all want to cross the T's and dot the I's and know exactly what everything is, but life really isn't like that.
No, but life is about feelings. And I'm surprised, even surprising to me, I've had two people dissolve into tears looking at this painting.
I can understand why.
Once I explained it to them, because suddenly they said, oh, that's so relevant to my life. That's so relevant. And it's very meaningful to them. Yeah. And they've put that painting by their front door. So both of them in a place where they see it the last thing when they leave, first thing when they come home.
Wonderful.
And they said, it just makes me realise I have choices in life.
Yeah. Well, this is one that is found in the poetry book, and I know this is very close to you. So would you like to explain a little bit about this one and the inspiration behind it?
Well, I think anyone who knows the Bible knows the very important story of the walk to Emmaus by Jesus' disciples. And there is something else I've read which says the great desert of human hopes.
Yes.
And I really felt that the disciples must have felt like they were in a great desert of human hopes after Jesus was gone. And they were walking, they decided to walk to a town. I've symbolised the town by a solid pyramid, just because it looks like a building. I've put them in a sort of a bubble of light here, because Jesus starts to walk with them. And so obviously this one is Jesus. And I've put that bubble of light up here as well, because this is where they suddenly have the realisation that Jesus, his body was gone, but, you know, he has returned as he said he would. One of the conversations they have when they realise it was him is that one said to the other, "Didn't our hearts burn within us as he expounded the scriptures to us?" So I've just symbolised that, those little red dots there. But it's a very simple painting, but it's about a really important event.
Yes.
And I think everybody has their walk to Emmaus at some stage in life.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Diane, thank you so much. I love how art can take a very big experience and condense it into an image that can get sort of burnt into your mind and remembered forever. It's this. It has this wonderful way of crystallizing a lot of detail into something so memorable and something that really can touch people in such a beautiful way. And you've explained something of your process today. We're so grateful for you coming to join us. You can see Diane's paintings on her website, and the details will be below. And also in a gallery, there's an exhibition coming up later in the year. Is that correct? Yes, the
Peninsula Studio Trail is having an exhibition at a venue called The Studio, which is in Wilson's Road, Mornington.
Mornington, beautiful.
Yes.
Do you know when that is?
That will be from the 20th, I think, of September until the 1st of October.
So if you're in the area, go and see it. And also, you'll find Diane's paintings in the new Dear God book, Through the Wilderness, Journey Through the Wilderness, and that will also be listed below. So we hope that you'll take a look, and thank you once again, Diane, so much for coming to speak to us.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe
and ring the bell.
Have a nice day.